Julie Waldorf, juliewaldorf.com. I'm back again with Lester here because he's going to tell us what's going on in State Street and what kind of homeless people are hanging out over there and who needs the help the most from what you know.
Well, right now you've got, if you look down State Street, besides the mentally disabled that have mental problems, I mean that are, visible.
Right.
You got people living on the street that are in wheelchairs.
Yeah, wow.
Disabled people.
Wow. Wow, that's kind of hard to believe.
Yeah, you've
in
got
this country, in this, especially Santa Barbara, with all the money here. Okay.
You got people, elders. That, elderly people living on the street.
Or you can't make a living because they're older and they have
probably
health
can't afford
issues.
They can't afford any place to live. Because a lot here in Santa Barbara, especially downtown, a lot of the low-income houses that used to afford the people that were on Section 8, Social Security, disability, whatever, became bed and breakfasts, or they were sold out to yuppie puppies that turned them into, their downtown cottages like they do all over the United States.
Yeah, so it's just been converted
It's been converted over to high
dollar
housing.
And high dollar stuff.
Well, no, it's not even shopping. It's most of it actually is. Most of the houses have been converted into high dollar houses to where poor people used to live.
Wow. Okay.
There's only of the original places I knew about, I think there's only like 3 or 4 left.
So do you see many children on the streets?
I see a lot of kids, the 18 to...
Young adults?
Yeah, 18 to 22, but a lot of them...
You seen teenagers on the streets down here?
Yeah, not that many.
Not that many. Do you see any single parents with kids on the streets?
Most of those, I haven't seen any of those around here. Not saying they're not, because a lot of them, Santa Barbara, especially if you got kids, has a lot of hookups to try to help out.
Do they? Okay, well that's good.
Families and kids and that kind of thing.
All right, well that's good to hear. So, that's good to hear.
But yeah, you're disabled is one of the major problems.
So disabled is the ones around the streets here.
You got a lot of the vets.
Okay.
But there again, it's taking away the housing.
Yeah.
They've taken the housing away.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks a lot.
All right, we'll let you guys
thanks
go.
again. Julie Waldorf, juliewaldorf.com. Bye.
This is my new home, my first home in my entire life, and I thank the DAV for it. How is it to be homeless? It's devastating. It sucks life out of a man, right out of your spirit. So you manage to get a little energy to get out, but when you get pulled right back again. And that goes on for years and years and years. In my case, 48 years. Sleeping in pickup trucks and cars. This car here was probably the first car I've owned in, have to be 35, 40 years. That's the truth. And what I did was I put some wood in here. These seats were up. And I have boards that I now use for shelving. And I put 3 of them together in here and made a full-length bed in here. I built this bed, and it was good to get it out of storage, and I can watch my TV at night. This room is my hangout room, except for the music studio I'm building in there. But I'm an artist, so I couldn't wait to get my stuff out of storage. My stuff was in storage for over a year and a half. And it broke my heart that it was there, because I have these things that I've earned in life. This is about Joseph. My degrees, my certificates, and my artwork. Ladies and gentlemen who are listening, all of this comes from the VA and the DAV helping me accomplish this. I would not have any of this if it weren't for these fine people helping me.
concept of plasticity. So it's really the concept of trainability and changeability, not only of our brain, but also our immune system, stress system, behavior. So I'm not just talking about brain, but the whole body. What I'm doing is to present you very fresh data. So it's actually, you know, like, because we can't put them on the web yet, they are so fresh, about a research project, a one-year longitudinal study where we train the mental capacities of human being. So we do mental training, secular mental training, which is based a little bit, you know, on meditation from the East contemplative tradition, a little bit from Western tradition, and secularized so that it can be amenable to science and to people from all religion or also atheistic people. I think you know the concept of mindfulness. You probably have heard about that, about training attention of your mind, stabilizing your mind, becoming present in the moment. This is what we train 3 months at the beginning in the module we call presence. So it's really getting your mind just stable and getting interoceptive body awareness, because very often we are kind of thinking here and we don't know what's happening below. But we have a body which is telling us a lot of very important things. Then there is a module which is called affect, and it will always be read now because this is about emotions. This is about training compassion, benevolence, loving kindness, empathy, and how to regulate emotion in the context of anger, stress. And then this is juxtaposed, and I will tell you why we have actually these two modules. It's based on science and what we know in science. It's called perspective, and this is a more cognitive module which allows you to get a perspective on yourself, on your mind, and on others. And I will talk about theory of mind, or the ability to take perspective of others, which is a very crucial ability to understand each other, especially when someone is from another culture or different or has different beliefs. People have to every day, 30 minutes or 20 minutes, do these kind of core exercise, only 2 exercises in each module. We give them cell phone. I will show you how that works. And you are accompanied in your everyday life like toothbrushing, but you have to do mental exercise. And there we have, you know, like classical exercises alone. You just close your eyes and you exercise your mind alone. Or we have dyadic exercise where you actually have a partner and you have to call up the partner. This is how a retreat looks like when 100 people who participated in this one-year-long study are actually sitting and training with the teachers. At the beginning of each module of 3 months, people, I mean, they don't look like that. This was just for the picture. They have their normal clothes, yes? They are normal people like we only, and they just sit and exercise and get, you know, taught into these exercises. So this is when they are on holiday, they send us these pictures, and they have these cell phones, and on the cell phones you have the, you know, like the mental practices, depending on the module you are in. You can listen to them, and we know exactly, you know, we are spying on our participants day and night. We know exactly, you know, how long did people practice, what did they practice, how did they feel before, after, how did they sleep, and so on. But it also allows you to integrate it in your everyday life. You have to do 20 to 30 minutes a day, and this is how a diet looks like. You can do it in your workplace, it's 10 minutes, but it's not a chit-chat, but it's kind like of a mental, very concentrated exercise together. This allows you, the listener, trains empathic listener, whereas the person who speaks trains to become mindful of what is going on in the body. And we have other diets where we train perspective taking. So you have to detach from your own perspective and creep into the mind of the other. It's like mind reading exercise. What we had is almost 300 participants in this study. Everything you will see in blue is what we call retest control group. These are people who 1 year are tested like crazy with 90 measures, but they don't get any intervention. They are the real altruists, because they basically do all this testing without benefiting. We need them because we have to know what's happening when you just test people hundreds of times. And then there are these 2 cohorts, which, like you see, start with this mindfulness module 3 months. And then what is important, you see the cohorts do the sequence differently. The one cohort goes in the compassion module first, the other goes in the perspective cognitive module first. So this allows you at T2, you see the second measurement point, to compare what the specific exercise is doing with your brain, body, and heart, and compare different types of exercises as an effect. So it's a very conservative design, you could say. So you have to remember always these colors, because the color is now coding the results. Yellow is always the classic mindfulness training. Red is always compassion, heart training. Green is always the more cognitive perspective taking. When you ask, do the people do it? We had a dropout rate. Dropout means how many participants really did it a year. And usually these kind of scientific studies, you have dropout rates of 40% to 60%. We had less than 7%. So this is Guinness Book of Records. Every day they do their exercises. Some do it even twice. So it's a very, very high level of exercising. And these people are like people like you and me, average 43, up to 55, then we cut. We measured them extensively, as I said. We measured the genes, we measured their brain, we measured, they got like cell phones. We asked, what are you doing now? What are you thinking now? You know? We measured economic games, and I will show you that because that's relevant to this forum. So we measured the typical kind of battery which empirical behavioral economists would use, trust game, dictator game, and so on. We used the cortisol, stress level, immune system, medical measures. Now, the results. Why did we, separated this red one and the perspective? There are two pathways in our brain which allow us to understand other people's mind and what they're feeling and thinking. The red one, which is associated to phenomena like empathy, like empathic emotional resonance with the other. You have pain, I feel the pain directly. You are stressed, I'm stressed directly. Compassion is a real concern for you. It's very different from empathy, and Mathieu can tell you perhaps a bit more about this very crucial difference between empathy and compassion. But what is important, it's a motivational, emotional state. You feel for someone, you feel with someone. This one is what psychopaths have. This is, you understand the mind of the other, you understand the intentions, the beliefs of the people. You can see, usually these two roots work together in a healthy person. But for example, in psychopathy, they are very good in manipulating people because they know exactly what the other person needs, thinks, believes, but they have no compassion and empathy. They don't care. So this is when it dissociates. And this is how we measure, actually, the changes in brain and behavior. Participants go into the scanner 5 times within this 1 year, and they see screens. One task, for example, shows, on one hand, videos of people explaining very emotional stories, suffering stories of their lives, real stories, and you measure the brain, the empathic emotional response to these stories, and also what they say they feel, how much compassion and empathy. On the other hand, the stories are conducted in that some stories need a lot of cognitive perspective taking. They need a lot of this false belief understanding. So you can compute like a social intelligence score. How good is someone in doing this cognitive perspective taking? So I will show you data which show whether we can actually, through training, increase this ability and this ability. So this is when we scan the brain while you empathize with suffering of the other. You have this whole empathy for pain network lighting up. What is important for you, you don't have to know all the, the regions and what it means, is a network which is very different from the network engaged in cognitive perspective taking. So theory of mind, mentalizing is all the same words. You see, they are very different networks. And because they are so different, we can also train them differentially. In the fitness club, you can train with different techniques, your arms, your back, and your feet differently. And this is what we do with the mind. The mind is also very complex, and you can, through different mental practices, cultivate different aspects. What we now show is that what happened in our study with these compassion on one hand and theory of mind ability, this perspective-taking ability on the other. So the blue one is always the people who just got tested all the time but didn't do anything. So basically just being tested again and again in these exercises don't do anything. Just living your life a year long will not improve your theory of mind. Now doing 3 months of mindfulness training, attention and breathing, does nice other things, but doesn't do anything with theory of mind. You don't get better because you breathe. Compassion doesn't do a lot. It's really the perspective-taking module with these exercises which brings a huge increase in theory of mind accuracy. The second cohort, you remember, had also first mindfulness, nothing. Again, we replicate in another cohort. Now they do perspective first, and you see this huge increase. And then they do compassion, nothing really happens anymore. So it's a very specific effect of a certain exercise they do every day on an ability which is hugely important, for example, for global compassion to emerge, for in-group, out-group distinction, for starting to understand other cultures, other religion, the behavior of people which are not like you. So for conflict resolution, this is the ability you want to train. Just repeating and living your life doesn't make you much more compassionate. Breathing, not really. But compassion training makes you very much compassionate. A good sign for us, because we designed it for increasing compassion. And then the perspective training a little bit, but not more. So second cohort, mindfulness training, 3 months, nothing really for compassion. It does other things, but not compassion. Perspective taking, these kind of, it's also a social cognition skill you train, a little bit high. But now really, when they train the compassion block, they have this boost in compassion and empathy. So you see, you can, now the question, this was behavior, now we are brain scientists too, so we wanted to know, can you change the hardware of your brain? We always thought that we can't change anymore, that our brains are just declining and getting worse after age 25. So this is really showing whether you can increase in cortical thickness, this means in gray matter volume of your brain through training. And what I show you again is after 6 months of affect in one group or perspective in the other group. And you see this is real cortical thickness, so this is increase in your hardware of your brain after training, which happens in the network I showed you before, which is the emotional empathy compassion network after compassion training, and happens in the theory of mind network after theory of mind training. So you see again that the training increases cortical thickness in networks which are processing the specific mental content you are training. After compassion training, you get better in limbic networks, you get bigger limbic networks. After theory of mind training, you improve the networks necessary to make this shift into the minds of others. Why are we so interested in all this? It's because we want to actually improve global cooperation. We want to see how can we become global citizens. We measured more than 17 different measures, and some of them were taken from behavioral microeconomics. And some are just questionnaire, what people think they are. Some are like more psychological, implicit task. And also donation. People could give money to donation, just to charities. Now I just show you a composite of everything, like it's basically a big hyperfactor of pro-social cooperation. Just living your life doesn't make you more pro-social on average. Having mindfulness training 3 months, not really, but now compassion boosts altruistic motivation to a huge extent. And perspective training is not so strong. Now you see in the second cohort, mindfulness could do a little bit, but it's really compassion who brings it up after 9 months. So this shows that actually this mental training can change what economists would say is stable preferences. Economists would say you are egoistic or you are altruistic, you don't change, there's nothing to do. This means you can change preferences with 30 minutes training in an adult human being. Does time of practice matter? There is this boom of mindfulness in America right now, also a bit in Europe. And there are a lot of 2-day courses in transformative mindfulness. And then you think you will have no stress anymore, you will be a better person. So I will show you data on stress to answer in a scientific way that true. Is 2 days enough? So what we do is actually what I have to do now, but imagine I would be sitting in front of an audience with all white coats, and you would all be like, you wouldn't give me any social cues which would allow me to say, okay, you are still with me. And this really stresses everyone. When you do that, you get a huge cortisol response. So the cortisol is a hormone which is the end product of your HPH stress axis. And this stress response is a real biological social stress response. What we find is that the control group has a stress response. Now, 3 months of mindfulness training, it reduces subjective stress a lot. We can see people report they feel much better, but it has not arrived down onto the HPH cortisol axis in the biology of the body. It's really the compassion training after 6 months and the other social cognition training, like perspective training, which brings social stress down. We really have amazing evidence for plasticity on all levels, an adult human being, and even on the level of cortical thickness, so like the hardware of your brain. You can actually increase your social intelligence, your happiness, but some changes when it wants to drop down into health and biology needs time and regular practice. It really matters which mental training technique you engage in. Depending on which meditation you do, you will cultivate different network, and some are more efficient for one thing than the others. So this is just like what I presented to some economic colleagues some years ago. I said compassion training can increase positive affect, change the brain, reduce stress, increase cooperation. Economists came to me and said, this is incredible. If that is true, we need to rethink economic models. We need to rethink the backbone and the human nature picture we have when we think about neoclassicistic models of Homo economicus. Because, and Dennis Noah is working with me on caring economics now, is basically using this insight from psychology and neuroscience to inform new models of economic decision-making. And you could say this is the old neoclassistic picture of economy. This is really the backbone of most utility function we can find nowadays. Some have fairness preferences and stuff like that. The psychological view would be much more, we have different motivational system. The increase in the brain network I showed you is actually a system associated to care, positive affect, and affiliation. When you activate or cultivate that, it will basically influence your decision in more pro-social. And so we have to think about, we have different motivational systems which need all to be balanced, and they will, the system which be most activated will determine the behavior you will show. This is 7 systems we started differentiating based on psychological and biological knowledge. So we can be motivated by achievement, by power, consumption, affiliation, care, and threat. Consumption, that's the typical utility function in economic theory. Consumption leads to selfish behavior. But care leads to prosocial behavior. Affiliation is actually not care. Affiliation is you want to belong to an in-group, you want to belong to a group, and you are panicked that you could be excluded of a group. Power always leads to competitive behavior. Achievement is excelling. You want to be best. You want to optimize your performance. In sports, this is very important. Anger, of course, to aggressive behavior. Fear and threat system is defense behavior and getting through. So now you can basically formulate, and we did that, different utility function for each of the motivation behavior relationships. With this model, you don't have just one utility function. You have, depending on the context, you will have a motivation system which will be most activated, and this will determine with a certain probability the behavior, the choices you do. So what is important for policy making is now to know how should the context be to activate these different systems. And so obviously I'm interested, how can we activate care and affiliation? Because this leads to not so much in-group, out-group distinction, it leads to prosocial behavior, to global cooperation, and so on. And so we identified, this is, I think, the speciality of economics, institutional design, this is politics, it's changing laws. Nudging, we have like one nudging unit. In Germany, we have one, in America, in UK, so this is very much coming up. How can you change the context so that it kind of primes a certain behavior which is beneficial for a state or something? The psychologists, and I just showed you, have identified other ways to change your preferences by internal mental training or education. You can, just by 30 minutes or like basically changing your mental attitude when you wake up in the morning, sometimes even 1 minute, you can actually change your motivation system internally. And then your decision will be different. Which motivation system is now driving my behavior? What is really driving me now? Oh, this is stress, this is threat, this will not be a good decision. So breathe in, breathe out, do some exercise, the decision will look different. We want to now basically bring the science-based program into society, into schools and education, because the brain of these kids is so plastic, you don't need to have 30 minutes, it's so... It's like, so that's what we, try to do, that they kind of, kids learn again to become, like interdependent beings with some kind of secular ethics and compassionate motivation and the ability to regulate their emotions and stress. So that was what I wanted to share with you, and I'm looking forward to the discussion.
Okay, so what is the difference between metta and compassion? Simple question. It does have a simple answer. I think people are not so clear on the difference between these two. Not realizing that they are actually different sides of the same coin. And there is quite a bit of there is some sense of overlap, but they are opposites. They are opposite sides of the same coin. So metta, which we translate as actually friendliness. Metta comes from the word mitta. Mitta, and then you strengthen the I and it becomes an E, and so you get metta. Mitta means friend, metta means friendliness. What it refers to is the intention, the mind state which is intent upon bringing happiness to other beings. Or not exactly bringing happiness, intent upon a wish or a desire or an inclination, because it doesn't have anything to do with desire or attachment, not necessarily, but an inclination that beings should be happy. So you have a being who is in a neutral state. It is the wish, the volition, the mindset that that person or people or that all beings should be happy. So it's a positive one. Compassion, karuna, which we translate as compassion, is the opposite. You have a neutral person and you wish for them not to fall into suffering. You know, may this person be free from suffering. Or, conversely, you have a person who is in suffering and the wish for them to be free from suffering. The intention, the mindset that that beings should be free from suffering. So it doesn't actually require you to do anything. Neither one of these actually requires actions. It's these mindsets that will inform your actions. So as a result of a desire for beings to be happy, or a mindset that is good for beings, that you wish for beings to be happy, may beings be happy, as a result, you will then act you'll act accordingly. So you'll do things to bring happiness and peace and freedom from, or happiness and peace to people. Now, compassion, when you have this mindset, it will inform your actions in such a way that you work to relieve suffering. So that when someone is in pain, you will immediately act to try to free them from that. When they're in mental anguish or despair, you'll incline towards freeing them from that. So the problem is that in the end it all comes down to the same thing, that true happiness is freedom from suffering. They're one and the same. But the feeling in one's mind is different. So when one has love for beings, has friendliness, it's a wish. It's a positive wish. When one has compassion, it's a wish to take away. It's a wish to take away someone's suffering. But they're kind of two sides of the same coin. And so it's an interesting question. But I think it's a clear answer, that compassion is desire to take away suffering. Friendliness, or metta, is desire to bestow happiness.
When a guy shares his encounter with the homeless man on Facebook.
Thousands have shared this story since it popped up online.
Alice Barr spoke with both men to find out how their chance encounter is leading to a second chance.
I'm eating what you eat.
Sharing a meal of Mexican food.
Chicas de camarón.
Alex Camarillo and Stanley Long sound like old friends.
Well, it's like a Mexican thing. It's freaking awesome.
But these lunch dates had an unusual beginning.
Yeah, sure.
It started outside this Pizza Hut a couple weeks back. Stan came up to Alex, asking him for money. Instead of just handing him $1, Alex invited him inside to sit down together for a meal.
The pair hit it off, snapping this photo, and after lunch, Alex ran to the store for some gifts.
From head to toe clothes. How you doing today, man?
Stan spends his days asking for help. He says he stopped working to take care of his sick mother, and after she passed last year, he wound up on the streets.
Is there a way possible you could help a homeless guy with anything today, ma'am?
He never expected the extra kindness from this young stranger.
Sit down and eat. No, this is the first.
I grew up broke. I grew up in poverty.
Now Alex says giving back just makes sense.
If you're able to do it, why not help somebody out?
So he posted their story on Facebook, encouraging others to do the same, and it is spreading fast.
You don't know how it's going to change their lives. Though.
Like it's changing Stan's. He admits he's made mistakes to land him here.
I'm not no saint or anything like that.
But he says this moment means everything.
It's hope.
Motivation to get back on his feet.
Just to be grateful and to do better.
And pass it on to the next in need. In Southeast Houston, Alice Barr, KHOU 11 News.
And Alex says he's heard from people as far away as Africa who've seen his story, and he says he told them all the same thing: give back whenever and whatever you can.
Gave them the best thing you could. Hope.
That's right.
Great.
Humanity. Return to compassion, love, and kindness.
Be vegan, make peace. Supreme Master Ching Hai.
Good morning, guys. Ride by Ben here. Well, we're heading into the city, as you can see. We're going to give back today, guys. We're going to give back to anyone we see who's homeless. We're going to stop and give them a little something. Got our first homeless guy. How are you, brother? What's your name, man? Michael. How long have you been in the streets for? 5, 6 years. How'd you end up on the streets? Lost your job and tough times. Mate, I'll give you some money just to help you out. Alright, man, I hope that helps a little bit. All the best to you, brother. I'm Ben, by the way. Take care, Michael. All the best. Cheers. Do you need some money?
Yeah.
How long have you been homeless?
Pretty much all my life.
I'll give you some money, man. Sorry? Yeah, I love it. I just saw you there when I rode past. How long have you been on the street for, or struggling?
I'm 47 years old, so when I was 18 I got kicked out of home.
Really?
Yeah. I was just trying to escape from some friends who were...
Drugs?
Well...
You can be honest.
They were giving me drugs.
Yeah.
But they were stomping on my head as well.
Abusing you?
Yeah, I suppose so, in my room.
It's not good, man. What's your name?
Singer.
Singer. I'm Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Nice. I'll give you some money, man. Yeah, it's not good, man. It's tough, isn't it? I hope this helps a little bit.
No, that's fantastic.
And have a good Christmas.
Yeah, I was walking around all over last night. I was walking everywhere.
Trying to get some help?
Yeah.
Alright, man, take care.
Okay, thank you very much. Nicest, kindest people.
No problems. Take care of yourself. Well, that guy was from a troubled life. Hopefully that helps a little bit. This is a little hangout spot, I guess you could say, for the less fortunate homeless people. I haven't been down here in a long time, but I know there's a lot of guys who need help down here, so I'll ride by Ben to the rescue. There's a lady there with her whole life in bags. You okay? You alright? Are you homeless? Do you need some money? How many people here? 4 of you. Are they guys or girls over there? Over there. A mix. Why don't you grab me someone who really needs help and I'll give you both money. Just one person. My name's Ben. You alright, Andy? How you going, man? I thought I'm just out today. I thought I'd give you guys some money. Help you out. How long you guys been on the streets? How long? Years, huh? There you go, Andy. How long you been on the streets, Andy? 4 or 5 years? How'd you end up on the streets? Family or? Are you from Sydney? And you ended up here, huh? Oh, well, hope you guys take it easy, huh? There's no help around here for you or what? Yeah.
Because that's what I'm suffering from, because after my mum and dad passed away.
Right, depression. It's a big problem in Sydney, isn't it? Alright guys, well take care of yourselves. I'm going to keep going. Thanks, Andy. Take it easy. Are you homeless? Where do you sleep?
I see the pathway down there.
Pathway?
There.
That's where you sleep?
That's right, see right under the bridge when it rains?
Yeah.
Right under the bridge. So
wow.
That's right, good brother.
It's tough.
I've lived there for here, there, over there, here, over there, here.
For how long?
16 years.
16 years? Yep. You've been sleeping here?
Yep.
Wow. Oh, will you take care of yourself, brother? What are you guys doing? Huh?
We don't know you.
You don't know me, man. Oh, right. I just saw you guys. I thought, you know, you might need some help. Survivor of domestic violence just got out of hospital today. Back to the park. Just need a hand up. How you going? You alright? Yeah. You're falling asleep. You guys having trouble, huh? Yeah. Are you plenty of trouble, huh? Yeah. Are you covering a bruise with your? Are you covering a bruise there? Yeah, I thought so. I'll give you some money, huh? No, that's alright, guys.
I just got out of hospital yesterday and I'm still not feeling very well.
No, you're right, guys.
Thank you so much.
No worries, guys. Take care of yourself. God bless. You're right, guys. Hey, man. Hello. You okay? Need some money? Need some money? More than coins? What's your name? Ian. How long have you been homeless, Ian? A little while. I live in Sydney, mate. My name's Ben. Hi, man. I just saw you before. I parked around the corner on my bike and I walked all the way up here for you. That's alright, Ian. I'll give you some money, man. You buy some food or... It's hot today, man. Get some drink. Yeah. No money. No family, Ian? How long have you been homeless on the street? How long? Oh, your parents have passed away? Right. Yeah. How long have you been on the street? It's rough, huh? I'll give you some money, Ian. I hope it helps you, man. There you go, brother. No worries, man. Take care of yourself. Hey, man. I'm Ben, man.
Andrew, mate.
You're homeless, huh?
Yeah, me and my daughter, yeah.
And your daughter? How long have you been on the street for?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Where's your daughter at the moment?
She's around somewhere.
Trying to get some money as well for Christmas.
Yep.
Many people helping you out? A lot of people walking past, man.
You know, the funny thing is, it's not the rich that help you out, it's the hard, you know, battlers that help you out.
Or the middle class.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, you know.
Out of 100 people walking past, how many people give you money?
Maybe 5.
Wow, 5%.
Yeah. It's quite shocking since we're, you know, a pretty rich country. You know?
Yeah. Hope more people stop, man. I mean, we're in Sydney City here. Yeah. Queen Victoria building across the road, millions of dollars.
Oh, God bless you.
Oh, there you go.
Merry Christmas, eh? Thank you.
Thank you for helping him. That's good.
Sometimes some take the chance just to stop and read, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And, yeah,
And they could walk off afterwards.
you know what I mean?
Ridiculous.
You know, and some, you know, some stop and ask your story and that. And,
Yeah.
You know,
Every so often I'll stop. I mean, Sydney, it's covered, man.
Yeah.
I've been overseas. It's tough over there too, different countries, but this is my home.
Yeah.
I live here. I'll give you more than coins, but I'll give you a note. Yeah, man, no worries. Well, you got a family too, man. You got a daughter. There you go, brother. Take care of yourself, man. I wish you all the best. Hope that helps a little bit. Take care of yourself. Ben. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it, man. You too, brother. Well, guys, thanks for watching. As you can see, Sydney does have quite a few people needing help, living on the streets for whatever reason, whether it's family, and in a lot of cases for a lot of years. So if you do see people like that, I advise you help them, because you never know if one day it'll be someone you know or someone in your family as you get older that may need help as well.
I'm in Denver, continuing on my mission of kindness. Let's see if the Mile High City can live up to its reputation as one of the friendliest places in America. So what made you decide to give it all up in New York and come and try for a new life here?
Everything I do is for him. The reason I made this move is for him to, you know, be in a peaceful place, the mountains, and I want him to experience things that I missed growing up. You know, my dad did take me fishing and stuff, but he was always so busy, so I just want to be there. What, man?
Hey, you awake?
Hey, man. Hey.
There is such a beautiful bond between you two.
I just got here a couple of days ago. I had a job set up and some housing arrangements set up. The housing arrangement fell through. Right now I'm homeless, you know, new 2 days in town. And I guarantee in a month's time, I'll make anything that I need to happen. It's like you have to be brought down to your humblest point so you can appreciate other things that are waiting for you. And to anybody out there that feels like they want to humble, man, just keep going, man. It's not worth it. Don't let it consume you.
How do you keep your sense of joy, your spirit soaring when you're in this situation?
Well, it's two things for me. This guy here, he fuels the fire, and then the fusion between meditation and prayer, knowing that there's a higher power taking you through life experiences in order to mold you into something that you need to be, or maybe to have this experience to be able to repay the debt when, you know, with someone else, when I get situated, you know, it's paid forward, man. I never expected it to be like this, but it's like this, you know what I'm saying? And I've had nothing but good help all the way, you know, so.
You know, most people don't want to share their pain. I want to say thank you. And the way I'm going to thank you is by giving you $1,000.
You gotta be freaking kidding me, man. Thank you so much, man. And I appreciate it, man. Express how I feel right now.
And another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put you up in a hotel for the next 7 days. Okay?
Man, thank you so much, man.
I don't want to lose you, lady, lady. 'cause I just might die, yes. So tell me why we can't get along. Why, babe? Said, tell me why can't I reach you on the phone? Tell me why you choose to be all alone.
Ever pony, let's do it. Ride it, my pony in my saddle, baby.
Time a great school, you wanted to be changing your Jackson 5. You got your high grade, but we grew up training. You promised for me, just like back in grade school. You're doing the same old thing. Stop lovers, say maybe your own.
You gotta hit the routine.
Darling, breakfast slow, or someday you'll be all alone. You better stop the lovers, say maybe your own. Ooh, the very first time that I saw you.
My pony in my saddle, baby. Come and jump on it.
Unbelievable sounds, indescribable feelings, so timeless, revealing through an endless diamond sky, a whole new world, 100,000 things to see. I'll chase them anywhere. It's time to share. Let me share this whole new world with you.
Yeah.
My mother taught me all fables, told me how in the end all sinners have to pay. I don't wanna live like my mother. I don't wanna let fear rule my life.
Brother man, ooh, killing your people, brother man, yeah, selling that evil, brother man, yeah. Hood with addiction, causing pain and afflictions, brother man, oh, put back the pieces, brother man, ooh. From nephews and nieces, brother man, oh, do what you wanna and cut back the slaughter, brother man, checking the news and reading statistics, brother man, too many men of color being fingerprinted.
So wonderful, yeah. Stop now. It's hard, and the road gone cold, so doggone cold.
You love, baby, now, don't you know? I think it's time to turn the lights down low. You're aroused and I'm aroused, so why don't we just turn off all the lights? Everything must change. Things can't stay the same. Oh no. No matter what they do, things are gonna change someday soon. No matter if you're black, no matter if you're white, it's time to love each other. 'cause everything is gonna change.
JustOneDovey.com. Show me entertainment.
Show me entertainment.
It's our year.
It's our year.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Comes out.
Pretty much, okay. I ain't have to say my name or anything like that. Huh?
If you want to, you can.
Oh, heck no.
Okay.
Let's see. If I say a name, I'm Walter Payton.
Walter Payton, okay.
No kidding. I used to be a case manager, and it's funny because my job was to keep my clients housed. And I dealt with the formerly homeless, a situation which I had never known. And guess what? Now I'm homeless. So, you know, basically, I'm a happy guy, no matter how bad it gets. Some days are harder than others. You know, we struggle, but hey, I think like it can always get worse. No matter how bad it is, it can always get worse, you know. I don't know if that's the truth, but you know, it works for me. Yeah. You know, so you know, are you having a bad day? Yeah, but if I complain, it might get worse. So. The truth for me, you know, it comes from the heart. Every day, you know, I know I'm blessed because every day I feel it. You know, I could be crippled. I've been shot 7 times, and by God's grace, you know, I'm not handicapped. I could say I'm not crazy, but you know, my family would say that's debatable. So, you know, I just do what I do. I don't know what else to say.
Nah, that was beautiful, man. That was perfect, bro. Is it cool? And
one simple one, and that hadith was, we learned from the Prophet ﷺ said that he who sleeps on a full stomach while knowing that his neighbor is hungry, he's not one of us. And that hadith, within itself, we just take that context, it becomes our duty to make sure that we are starting to feed the homeless. We get our food from Zenith's restaurant in Coventry. Zenith, alhamdulillah, for those people that have used Coventry, is probably one of the most renowned restaurants with best quality food. The important thing for us was the fact that, and again, this is hadith, to make sure that if you're going to look after homeless people, you give them quality food. So we give them quality biryanis, meat biryanis, vegetable biryanis, what they need, and we make sure we collect that fresh from Zenith's every Wednesday and every Thursday, and give that quality food to them on a daily basis.
The people come in, they really enjoy the food, we have a little chat, you know, discuss what the jobs and everything, and they really get happy when you talk to them, when there's someone to talk to, because most of the time necessarily they won't have anyone to talk to. We give them chicken curry, we give them apple juice and everything, sometimes it gives them chocolate bars, crisps, everything.
I was made aware of organisations like yourself who are outreaching to the community, supplying life-saving helping for the homeless and needy.
These people do a grand job, and I think there should be, I know there should be other people doing what these people do. There should be places all over the place.
In the last 2 years, we've gone from the first stage of feeding the homeless people. We used to feed around 5 to 10 people a week. Alhamdulillah, now 2.5 years on, we feed around 130 people a week, 140 people, and we feed for 2 days. our aim is now we feed twice. We want to feed up to 5 to 7 days a week to have our own setup, inshallah. And they say that Islam does mix in Western society. It's the duty of a Muslim to make sure they're helping anybody that is less fortunate. So we say that it's the job of the fortunate to make sure they're helping the less fortunate, and that's the message we want to give it today.
It's your buddy?
My man right here for years, man.
That's my boy.
For years, man. You know?
So, when you guys going, man? You all right,
We're
Sean?
going now.
We're finding a bus now. How long are you going to stay there for, Sean?
I'm going to stay there forever.
Met this nice guy named Sean behind me. And he says he's been tired of sleeping on the street. He's been through a lot. He wants to go see his family in Pennsylvania, so we're gonna go put him on a bus.
Oh man, this guy's the best. Sean's a great guy, man. He's loved by everybody in the neighborhood. You know, just always happy.
He's super cool.
The whole building.
Once I asked him, so you ain't got nowhere to go? He said, you can sleep outside, right? You know what I'm saying? I said, nah. Right? It's Alex, man. It's my friend.
I love you, man.
I always go to see you, man.
People love you, man.
I love you, man. Hold on, let's push the garbage, please.
Sure. Done with that.
I sat on that for many months.
Trying to get a one-way ticket to Allentown?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
$30.90.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you.
To, you know, down there and going to Pennsylvania. See my grandkids.
A little spending money for you.
God bless you, man.
All right, bless you.
And I'm very thankful for both. My ass getting out of here.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to see first time. I wish you was there to see my face when I see you. It's going to be joy. It's going to be, I'm going to miss the city, but what I miss, I'm gaining.
Love you, man. All right, I know you will. I know you will. Hey, we did it. We did it, baby. We did it. We did it. We did it. Get in there. Yes. Yes. Dude. Yeah.
Holy, there was a second there I was worried it wasn't going to happen.
Dude, me too. Today's a good day.
See how happy he was?